Good evening. Can you hear me? Okay, so we can begin today's session. So first of all, I'm going to welcome you guys back. I know it has been quite a while since we had a session for Halt Praise, and so today we are going to cover how you'll be able to prepare an elevator pitch for your business idea. And we're going to be covering a number of things. Uh, Essentially, what is required of you to be able to present a business pitch effectively in the shortest period of time, and the learnings from this session will be used later on Friday, where you'll be able to do your first elevator pitch in front of a judging panel. So we're yet to communicate the time for that, but it's going to be mid-morning. But I will get back to you on exactly what time um, the elevator pitch will be taking place on Friday. But from this session, you will be able to be prepared and have a clear picture of what you can present in your business pitch. So, first of all, what is an elevator pitch? And I want to picture a scenario whereby you are in an elevator with someone who is very influential in making investments or business decisions. So maybe let's say you've been in an elevator with someone like Elon Musk, and you have about uh, 30 to 60 seconds before he gets to the floor um, that he is intending to go to. So your task is to give a short business pitch proposal to them, or even a short personal portfolio pitch. So for an elevator pitch, you can use it to pitch your business, you can use it to pitch for a job opportunity, you can use it to close deals. Um, yeah, so those are some of the things that an elevator pitch can be very useful. So you have to figure out, um, like, you need to have clear mastery of your business from start to finish, right? So when you're giving this pitch, it has to be very short and it has to be very specific. So when you pitch to someone like an investor, you can't go to them and start giving them too much jargon that they cannot process. So you don't go there and just talk about the tech and how cool the idea is and things like that. Most of these investors don't care how cool your idea is. They just want to make profit. They want to see a business that is scalable. And so when you make these pitches, you have to have that mindset. You need to be able to have a clear picture of your business from start to finish. So an elevator pitch is a very short pitch um, that is usually between 30 seconds to 3 minutes, and you have this short window of time to capture your audience, to be able to resonate with your business idea. So, like if it was an investor, like I mentioned earlier, if you're able to give a clear elevator pitch, they might be interested in giving you their business card, asking you to reach out for an investment opportunity, or even they can invite you to their office, depending on how you're able to present yourself. So, like I mentioned, there's an investor. You can pitch to an investor, you can pitch to a customer, you can pitch to a potential business partner. So, if you're looking for teammates or you're still looking for teammates, this is one way um, to reach out to people who have the skills that you need in your particular project or business idea. So you can be able to use this elevator pitch to capture their attention to see if they're interested. And also you can pitch it to anyone who can be able to help you, like they might be able to realize the business opportunity that you've presented to them, and they can be very helpful in scaling that to the next level. So the goals of an elevator pitch are very simple. So you're not there to sell your product, right? And you're not there to receive a check, or no one is going to give you cash from simply reaching out to them and you know presenting your idea or presenting your portfolio for your services or your work. They're not going to give you a job straight away. They're not going to give you investment straight away. The goal of an elevator pitch is to um, get a form of invitation um, into a more conducive environment, like a boardroom or an office space, or somewhere where you can continue to dive in deep into that particular opportunity. You'll be able to pitch your idea. You can even use slides. You can also show demos of your products if you have physical products that you want to sell. So those are the ones that follow after an elevator pitch. So during an elevator pitch, you're not there to sell your product, just simply there to tell a story of a business idea that you have in the shortest time as possible, in the way that someone might want to invite you later for a sit down, and you can be able to they can be able to probably give you financing, but it will depend on how well you've captured their motives and their attention. So how can you give an elevator pitch? And you can choose to come up with a particular, like let's say, like an argument that is quite relevant. So maybe there's something that's trending on the news at that particular time. Like let's say during the time um, ChatGPT was launched, and many people were starting to have this artificial intelligence frenzy going on. Everyone was interested in it. Everyone was trying to figure out what was going on, the new trends, and everything. So you can come up with a pitch that is relevant to a particular trend that is there, or something that has been talked about during that time. So you can say, maybe for example, um, I have a business proposal where I'll be able to help your customer support services, minimize their response times to customer queries by 5 minutes or less, right? Using artificial intelligence tools, things like that. So you can figure out a way to do it that captures their attention. So you have to make sure you mention that what your solution is in brief, what pain um, exists at the present in that particular audience's um, maybe that's something that the audience has faced over a long period of time. What kind of pain that does your customer have that you can help them solve, right? And you state like by how much, show them the value of your particular proposal. Then you can just use your mission statement of your business concept. So maybe you can say, maybe if your mission statement is to provide people with access to loans at a short period of time, or providing people with access to better healthcare services, or maybe something to do with streamlining the donation system to help everyone be able to donate funds to various causes, or even maybe you are trying to set up a business that will improve the agricultural produce um, for farmers who are in semi-arid areas and things like that. So you can have a mission statement that you can give during that time of your elevator pitch. And you can mention that you already have patents. You can say that probably if you have traction, you can say over the last few months, maybe like in the last 1 month, we've had about 2,000 plus users joining in the platform, or we've made 40 sales of our product. So you can mention that form that captures customer validation. Like people are already buying your product, they are buying into that business opportunity and they see value in that. So if you're able to mention that in your elevator pitch, it can be very well. And then you can talk about maybe um, the intellectual property that you have. You can say we have patents that we've already acquired for our products that have been approved. Maybe if there's new technologies that you're using, you can talk about the technologies that you're using, but you don't go deep into how they work in that particular product that you're building, because that forms part of your intellectual property. You're not supposed to reveal the key details of your project to someone who you don't know, who might choose to take up that idea or that concept and apply it elsewhere, right? So don't, when it comes to mentioning technology, don't go deep into it. Just give a simple overview, right? So use artificial intelligence to help customer support customer support teams respond to queries much faster, right? You don't go deep into how they'll be able to do that, like the application, the background code and everything. So you don't talk about that. Then for competencies, during that elevator pitch, you can say, I have like 5 years experience in this space for Web3 or cryptocurrency. You can just if you have like something that maybe you experienced in over a long period of time, you can capture that in your elevator pitch, right? Then in general, you should try to have the most attention grabbing statement of your particular business or idea at the very beginning, and it should be pitched within that 30-second timeline. You know, there's sometimes when you speak to someone, um, and maybe they're on their phone, maybe they're not interested, because sometimes you might go into a judging panel where you see judges are just looking away, doing their own things. That's when you know you have not really captured their attention, and probably you're just wasting their time. They might be listening to you, but they may not necessarily be paying attention to your presentation. So if you come up with an attention grabbing statement at the very beginning of your pitch, right, that is something that can drive attention. You see them putting down their phone aside, or they're looking up to you face to face and they want to listen, or maybe they respond and they're like, oh yeah, I have this problem too, I've been trying to figure out a way to solve it. So yeah, that's how elevator pitches go. It's to capture the attention, um, to establish a sort of relationship later down on the line, either for a business opportunity, for a job opportunity, or anything else. So, uh, in a business pitch, an elevator pitch to be precise, um, if you, let's say you have like a large target market, um, you can just give an impressive figure of who your target market is. If your competition is not doing so well, you can make sure to mention that, right? That gives you an edge. You can also mention like the key strengths and opportunities that are there, key strengths that you have in your team, right? And make sure you mention the key strengths in your team and the passion that you have with your leadership capabilities. The reason why I'm insisting in this, when you go to this to some of the speeches these days, there are many startups that are coming up, all of them coming up with almost the same ideas as you are. But what makes you stand out is that an investor wouldn't want to just invest in the product that you're building or the service that you're offering. They want to invest in you personally, you and your team, because they see that this is something that you're passionate about. So even uh, months down the line, after they make an investment in your particular product or service, and maybe your product or service doesn't do too well, but the investor appreciates the value that you bring into the table, into the business, they might choose to bring you in as employees in their company or their firms, or maybe in other startups or ventures that they have invested in. So it is important that you bring out the key strengths that you have in your team during these types of presentations, right? And then you can try to look as an expert in that field, and just be someone who has done their homework, have clear statistics. um, you can have like a presentation, printed presentation that's not too long, right? Or you can have a small demo of your product, maybe on your phone, maybe something small, not something too big, too bulky, that uh, you might have trouble, because remember, this is an elevator pitch, and in an elevator you can be in an elevator with an investor and some other random dudes in there that you may never know, and you have like a tight space, just a few minutes to present your idea. So when you have these types of presentations, have something in hand, something that's easy to carry, something that can bring out the visual aspect of your particular business. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a slide documentations, pitch decks, and things like that. Um, those are things that you can bring in later. However, in scenarios where you are presenting an elevator pitch in front of a panel and you are given like 3 minutes, you can create a pitch deck that is very short, that you can deliver within that 3 minutes. Though most of the times it's advisable, if you have like a demo of your product or idea, you majorly do the pitching while showcasing that particular product, how it works, how it helps people, how you make money, and things like that, so that the presentation is very short and straight to the point, right? So just be someone who, when you go to that presentation, you look like someone who has done their work, their research, and they know what they're doing. So, what are some of the things that you shouldn't say in an elevator pitch, right? So, if you speak like someone who has ulterior motives or something that you're hiding, just um, maybe let's say there's a deal that you've closed with a potential bank. Maybe you've closed a deal with a bank, or you've closed a deal with maybe let's say you're selling products, physical products to um, a supermarket, a retail supermarket, and say that you had closed a deal for maybe 50 cartons of milk or bread or whatever it is. So when you pitch, make sure that you capture some of these details clearly. Don't look like you're someone who is trying to obscure certain things down the line, maybe certain issues that you may have with your project, because you may have something might have happened. Maybe your business is not doing well. Maybe you are dealing with a court case or something, and you don't mention some of these things initially, and later when they invite you to those pitching to their rooms where they try to do due diligence on you and they figure out that you are duped them, that can be really bad for your reputation. So if there's something really bad, something that you feel it's maybe you're facing a problem with your project, maybe there's something that you can't afford at this time, you make sure to tell them, be honest with where you are with your business, to put it plainly, right? And then um, make sure that everything that requires you to have like background research, right? Anything that requires you to have some knowledge in that area, um, maybe this person that you're pitching to is not in that field. Maybe you're pitching to them about things to do with consumer products, but then a different line of business for maybe B2B, and maybe they are probably running their own um, like lawyer firms or things like that. So you have to make sure you do research, and when you give this elevator pitch, you craft it in a way such that it is relevant to this particular person, right? Or if you're not sure about who this person is, what kind of background they have, just write a pitch. Actually, this is what I'll recommend you. Always write a pitch assuming that this audience is someone who doesn't know anything, right? Don't be too technical. Don't be too, yeah, just don't be too technical, right? Don't use too many confusing terms. Make sure that when you're having this conversation, it is you make sure you bring out some of the concepts behind your business clearly, right? So that anyone, even maybe let's say you are pitching to a 5-year-old who's a billionaire, right? They can be able to understand your business and give you cash to invest, to help your business scale. So just assume that your audience doesn't know anything. But if you already have prior knowledge on who this investor is, the person who you're going to present to, uh, maybe you know what kind of skill set they have that may bring value, you can craft your pitch to fit that particular audience. And so there's supposed to be an exercise whereby you're supposed to have your business ideas, and you try to see how you can build an elevator pitch. Then these are slides that are used in a class. So you want to be presenting this in a class, you'll be presenting this at IZET on Friday. So maybe let me give some moment to join back in so that it doesn't miss out. Okay, so I mentioned um, today you'll be from today till Friday. That's by Friday morning. You should have crafted a clear elevator pitch, and I'm going to share like a short summary of it. I try to see if I can share that. Mhm. Shared something a while back. Not sure if I have it here, but if I get it, I'll share it with you. So, your task is just to prepare an elevator pitch, and in your elevator pitch, it has to capture very few important details. What problem you're solving, or what pain, pain does the customer have that you're trying to solve, what your solution is, what is the impact of that solution, is it measurable, do you have any traction in your product or service. Make sure to mention that. um, the business, how you make money, mention that. If there's investment that you require, mention that in your elevator pitch. So that is the kind of structure you should be having. But I'll share something really short that can help you prepare that pitch. But at least now you have a clear understanding of what it will entail. So unless there's any questions from you guys, maybe I can hear from you if you have any questions. Yes, Brian. Sorry, Brian, I can't hear you. Just give me a moment. Sorry, I can't hear you. Just a moment. Okay, now you can go ahead. Can go ahead. Oh, when will we be doing the pitching? Yeah, you'll be doing the pitching at IZ. I will share the time, um, maybe tomorrow, because I'm yet to get a confirmation from Madam Esther, because the judging panel will be made of some lecturers who will be present. So it will be happening mid-morning. Um, that's what she had told me when she'll be present. So just prepare yourself for that. Just know it's at ISET on Friday, and make sure you're there by mid-morning. Um, that's when we'll be doing the presentations. So for those maybe you don't know where ISET is in the Thika Road campus on the third floor, right? So for those living probably in the town campus, uh, I'll try to see if we can organize a virtual option for you, but if possible, try to make your way to the campus on Friday. Yeah. So unless there's any other questions. Also, make sure you go through the Learn Canvas resources that I'd shared earlier, and also for the Javelin board. The reason why I'm advising you on the Learn Canvas is because HALT Prize will require you to create slides to submit on their portal, right? I'm pretty sure you already have access to those portals. So make sure you use the Learn Canvas to now create your slides, because it will be easier to transfer data there. And it also should capture mainly the business aspects of your particular startup or project. Don't go too deep in the technical details, because remember, this is a competition whereby you're competing with so many students from different parts of the world, and we do not know some of the people who attend these events. We don't know their intentions. So make sure if there's anything that covers your IP, anything that is very valuable in terms of intellectual property, whether it's the technology that you're using, the concept behind it, just try to not delve deep into that during the presentation. Yeah. So yeah, unless there's another question, unless there's anything else, I wish you a good evening, and also happy Valentine's. I think it's the 14th. Yeah. Have a good evening.